consoling Sam. I think today's program should be basically about it should be a consolation. Even if we had to say what is the topic for today's program, consolation. We are going to stand as people of consolation to console Arsenal fans from quadruple to treble, from treble to double. Double is even standing. Let me tell you something, Sam. Arsenal fans and everybody, you guys need a proper mandate. The mandate you are standing on, you will fall on your mandate. You shall stand.
Their double will not turn to trouble. All right, guys, we'll be looking at
and it's close now. Double can become trouble.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Sam,
okay. Sorry, I had troubles with my
That's
sound.
what we are talking about. It's still the same thing. Trouble.
It's good to be back this week, and I'm sure that the fans are going to have a very exciting ride with us, because we are not just going to be looking at the local scene. We are going to be looking at every aspect of the European stage, especially the top 5 leagues where we saw action, and we're also going to be looking at the UCL. We're going to be looking at the preview. We are going to have so many games this week, starting from tomorrow. Real Madrid against Bayern Munich and Sporting CP against Arsenal, who are only in the race for EPL and also UCL. We don't know if they can do both together, but then we will see. And also we have Barca against Atletico. We saw one of the ties during the weekend, Barca coming from 1 goal to win 2-1 at the Wanda Metropolitan. And we're going to see these two sides face again at the same time this week, back to back. We already saw them face at the Copa del Rey, and Atletico Madrid got the better of Barcelona, and they are into the final of the Copa del Rey. But this one, it is an European stage, and we know that we can't quantify European Copa del Rey and the league title. We can't quantify them. So we should expect a ball game. And the list of the game, not the last, I'm just saying, not the list of the game, I'm just saying the last time, it's going to be between PSG and Liverpool. Liverpool have been shambolic this season. It is no longer news. And I don't see them getting past an attacking-minded PSG, who are one of the best exploiting attack in Europe. In Mbappe, Ousmane Dembele, Kvaratskhelia, Zizardo are the likes of these guys that are there. Jeremiah, let's start from what is going on right now. Let's start from the MPFL. There's a game going on, Ikorodu and Plateau. Ikorodu are looking for a place at the continent, and there was a time in between the game we saw one, and a colleague that was with me earlier was saying, Ikorodu should be picking a point. If they pick a point, it's going to be good for their continental ambitions. But now I saw the scoreline 4-1. It's crazy.
Let me tell you something, and I'm going to say people will be hearing this first. And the thing is that Shooting Stars are going to pick the continental ticket. Yes, and that's the way it's going to look at the end of the season. Most likely, Rangers is going to win the league. Rivers United is going to finish second, and Shooting Stars will finish third. That's the way it's going to look like at the end of the season. And one of the ways by which the reason I said that is this. I said that presently Shooting Stars, they have 50 points, and by the time they play their next home game, they will have 53. Most of the teams that are before them, they will be playing on the road. Nasarawa is still coming to Ibadan to play Shooting Stars. By the time they play, the Stars will beat them. And don't forget the fact that Nasarawa United, they played draw at home last weekend, so which is already a big problem. Abia Warriors, I don't think they have anywhere they are going at the moment, because most of their games, they have Ikorodu City, they still have Rivers United, they have Warri Wolves. So they have games, like they have about 3 away games to the end of the season. It's just 4 games to the end of the season. And I think this is where the real battle is going to start. Ikorodu City cannot manage that, because Rangers will be coming at the end of the season, the last game of the season. Most likely, Rangers might beat or draw Ikorodu City here in Lagos. So with the way things are going, Shooting Stars for me looks like one of the clearest team to get it sorted. And because if you look at it, they still have about 2 home games to play. By the time they pick those 6 points, compared to Abia Warriors, who has 3 away games and 1 home game. So let's say Abia Warriors loses all their away games, they get only 3 points. Why Shooting Stars get 6 points from there, and also now go back to And don't forget, Nasara United is also coming to Ibadan to
Yeah, yes,
play
yes, yes, yes,
Shooting
yes.
Star. So by the time
Mm,
you look at the way it is structured,
mm,
I don't think is a very tight one. I don't think
mm,
I think it
mm.
is Shooting Stars that will get that third position, not even a Ikorodu City.
Oh, okay.
Present
Now,
Matthew.
I want us to talk about Rangers. Rangers are coming up, but let's look at Plateau also coming up, because remember there was a time that
They were in the
Plateau were
relegation.
bottom of. Yes, yes,
Yes,
and then Oracle came in and steadied the ship. Will you say
yes.
there are question marks over Shola Adeogun's managerial appointment during his brief at Plateau?
For me, sometimes no coach is that bad. They just need to
Mm,
understand their territory. You know,
mm,
this same Ogunbote was sacked because he was not doing well with Sunshine Stars at
mm-hmm.
one point. It was a particular season, Sunshine Stars were in the relegation waters. Ogunbote
Yeah.
was sacked. He was replaced with
Mm-hmm.
Ayodeji Ayeni. Ayodeji
Yes,
Ayeni
yes.
came from United that was playing in the NNN to come and help Sunshine Stars to stabilize. Then this same Ayodeji
Mm.
Ayeni went to Aqua United. Instead for him to stay better, after about 1.5 season, Aqua United was not doing well. He was sacked for Kennedy. I think they brought back Kennedy Boboyo. I don't even remember.
I think this is one of the issues of circling coaches around, because if you look at it, we have never had any new faces in the MPFL. Talking about managers, they have always been the same old bunch, being circled around and around and around.
They do that too in Europe. They do that in the EPL. You see,
But I've
at
never
one
seen,
point,
but we see new faces. You can see a coach
it's,
coming
it's
from
very
League One
most
to
most
EPL.
times. Most times, the new faces you'll be seeing, they are not just rookies. They are people
Mm,
that they've been in the system for a while. Maybe ex-international, like ex-players who probably they've been in the game. For example, okay, look at it. We are saying about new faces, new faces. Don't forget that at one point in the EPL, they sacked someone like Frank Lampard to go and bring an old coach. They sacked Frank Lampard. They sacked Enzo Maresca. They brought in Tech Boy. You
yeah,
understand?
yeah. All right,
Tech Guru. Yes.
all
So
right,
it's
all right.
very rare. It is very, very rare. And you will see like this now. By the time Liverpool will be getting a new coach at the end of the season, because I know as slot, I think his days are now numbered. I don't
No,
think there's any
there
days
are
left.
reports. There are reports that he's going to step down at the end of the season. That's the
The,
report. But
I,
before
I
before we
would
that,
I would
actually,
be I would be surprised anyway if Anna Slot was still at Liverpool in come next
hey,
season. I'll be very
yeah,
surprised.
yeah, exactly. It will definitely show FSG ambition. When I'm talking about FSG, they are the ownership group of Liverpool. It will show their ambition if they really want to, build something. Because we know that, for me, I think people like Van Dijk, Salah is going already. People like Van Dijk, people like Robertson, some of the veterans in the squad. I think by now they should be making plans by which they're going to ease out from those guys and transition into the new set of players. But then, before we come fully into the European scene, Sam, let's look at the preview of the games that we have in the FA Cup and also the draws that we have now. Southampton against Manchester City will play the final four, and Chelsea against Leeds. Leeds are currently battling relegation in the EPL, but they have been able to manage to get to the semi-finals of the FA Cup. And Southampton, the third title favourites, Arsenal, is a very big one. And thankfully, you're an Arsenal fan. But I trust your judgment on making analysis of the results that we saw. And then Manchester City making light work of Liverpool 4-0, Salah missing penalty, and some of these actions. What is your take on some of the things that we saw?
Yes, thank you, Dami. So the Arsenal Southampton game, you know what really struck me was actually the pre managers conference before that game. What was very interesting was the Southampton manager. I think earlier in the week, I think the press asked him, "Oh, how are you gonna handle Arsenal when they play against him?" And I think the manager said something interesting. He said that I think we have a plan on how we want to hurt Arsenal, but I don't want to tell all of you what it is. My players know what it is, but I want everyone to wait because we have a plan of
Mm,
what we want to do,
mm,
against Arsenal. When they asked him again on the day of the game, before the game, I think he said it the same again. We have a plan and we want to execute it. We are going to need the fans' help on the day. And surprisingly, it worked. I don't know what it was. I don't know what this so-called plan was, but it's like as soon as they touched the pitch, Arsenal just crumbled. The performance wasn't great. I mean, the goalkeeper.
Will you blame Arteta's selection? Because we know that he was prioritizing the UCL clash, to be very fair. But then some of the players that started the game were still some of the players that have won you game. Masdoan was on the pitch. There was Madueke. So some of these players, if you look at their profile and their value, they are nothing compared to the players Southampton paraded. So will you blame Arteta's selection?
I think Arteta's selection has to be called into play because the likes of I don't know, Ben White particularly, with his international duty that he had recently and to come into the game. I don't know. I don't want to speak too much on that. I question.
But some of the players, sorry to cut you, Sam, some of the players faked injury, and most of them came back to Arsenal during the international break.
Sorry, say that again, please.
Some of Arsenal players, there was a widespread report that some of those players faked injury and they did not represent their country. They came back. Majority of the players, what is this guy that you got from Bayer Leverkusen? He came back. Guys in the England squad, they came back. Even the ones on nationality, almost all of them came back. Why? All to lose against Southampton.
I think there's a talk about wanting to play for a national team, why it's important, but that's what I'm not talking about. That I'm talking about the selection. I think when you're going so close to the final and you're playing in the quarterfinal, you should have fielded your best players. And I think it's not the first time that we've touched on Arteta's team selection. I understand that we want to be playing young players. It's not even about playing young players. You have at least two competitions that you're battling for. You want to win trophies, and you're not playing your best players. It's coming into question now. For example, go on.
Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
For example, the goalkeeping situation. Kepa was in goal again, and even the performances of that game against.
None of the goals were Kepa's fault. I saw the game. None of those goals were Kepa's fault.
Of course, no, they weren't. But I'm just saying, in general, just to your team selection, it wasn't fielded very strongly. It was nice to see Max Dowman playing. A young 15-year-old getting all the hype. All of that stuff. It's nice to see him shine, but I expected more from Havertz, Jesus, even Gabriel. I was quite disappointed with him.
Okay, Sam. There's nothing we can do right now because
I think another issue that faced Arsenal was the same thing that happened to them against Man City. Arsenal is a team that cannot play well if they do not have their proper midfield sorted.
Yeah, they don't know how to adapt.
That was the problem they faced. So there was nothing you could have done. The only thing that could have happened in that game, it was a miracle, which I know will not happen for Arsenal. Yes. That is no. If you look at
Jesus rose from the grave. It's a miracle. Jesus rose from the grave.
That is a miracle, yes, but not for Arsenal. Arsenal's situation in that case, nothing would have worked for them. Look at it. Yes. Okay, look at it. They brought in Doma to play the 10 position. That man could not take on that position. Why? Because he's not he's a fantastic player, but he's not.
He couldn't check back. He couldn't mark.
He's still a kid. You need to understand. He's still a child.
Havertz was substituted. Gabriel was injured. Eze wasn't playing. Everything there was already a problem for them. There was nobody that could play. For example, Arsenal does not have somebody who could play in the position of Eze. Who else? Odegaard injured. Merino injured. By the time you look at the only thing that will save Arsenal this season is Jesus Christ. God. This season, the only thing that will save them. from double from trouble, not to from their double, not to enter trouble. It's only Jesus.
And
They
they
should look
have
up to
Jesus
him.
in that. They have Jesus
I
in
tell
that
you, they
storm.
should just look up to
Okay,
God because
okay,
that
okay.
situation right now, I'm
Yeah.
scared. I'm scared because
Uh,
although I think they might not really have much problem. And what I
Mm.
said is that in the league they have about 6 points. I mean, if I'm not mistaken.
nine,
So
9 points.
nine
Nine points.
points, nine.
Manchester. Manchester has
you
a
see
game
that
in hand.
game that is still left for Man City. Take it off. Oh. Yeah, okay, let's say 9 points. Let's say 9 points.
No,
Let's leave
I
it
see
there.
your point. I
Literally
see your points. Yeah,
nine
I see
points.
your points.
Now, let's hope that Arsenal can can
Mm.
just struggle and manage to just keep up. Because if you look at it from that
Mm.
point, from what they've been playing now, injuries, and hopefully Eze comes back by weekend. The Champions League, I just hope something happens. I'm not speculating, but that Champions, I don't think anything good is going to happen with that game against Sporting. But let's hope.
Uh, uh, uh,
This week,
all right. All right.
yeah,
Let's briefly look at before we go for the commercial break. I want us to quickly look at Chelsea and Manchester City, their results against Portugal and Liverpool, respectively. Jeremiah, let me begin from you. Manchester City, Liverpool. We know that Manchester City versus Liverpool is one of the high-profile games in the EPL. Anytime these two sides meet, we know that it's always a game of tactical minds when Klopp was still there. But since Arne Slot, however, it's been like when Liverpool faces Manchester City, we know that it's going to be win for Manchester City.
yes,
Yeah.
So
yeah, yeah,
in terms of now, there was something I said when Anslot was appointed. I said Anslot won the league basically because there was a foundation that Klopp had already set. So him coming in to that foundation, it was easier for him. Plus the managerial aura of we have a new manager, we need to do something, we need to prove. I think that was one of the, even I think that was one of the things that actually played in his favor. And things were not actually looking at how does the status work. He was able to do that. And now that he made his own signings, he has his own players now. We can say that Anslot is not practically up there from a coach that is coming from the Dutch league where his team dominated. Coming to the EPL, one of the most technical, one of the most physical, one of the most toughest league in the world. We have now seen that Anslot is not really the manager for Liverpool. But then there are speculations that Xabi Alonso might take the reins at the end of the season. Beyond the new managerial appointments, let's talk about the results. Liverpool against Manchester. It was more like a walk in the park for the Etihad boys.
I was
Jeremiah.
shocked.
you
I
know,
was
you know,
shocked.
I know. That's one thing I was scared. I was my fear when Arsenal was to play Man City. I said, this sleeping dog, don't wake it, don't wake it, don't wake it. The moment
Mm,
now,
Mm.
Man City they're already looking at it that at least their season is not over. Honestly,
mm,
uh, last
Mm.
season, they went trophyless last season. There was nothing they had
mm,
last. I think yeah, that they
mm,
didn't win anything last season, and this season is already
mm,
looking at they're going to win a double. Even they can win a treble. That's the way it
mm,
looks like because Man City can win the FA Cup, they can win the league.
Yeah,
mm.
it's possible. It's possible.
It's
Yeah.
Yes,
possible, and if
it's
that
possible.
happens, come on, I don't even know what to say. So right now,
Mm.
these guys are awake. Honestly, they are awake into
I
the battle.
think, and I think that final win against Arsenal gave them a big boost again.
Yes, and and,
Yeah, of
and
course.
and
Because
if you look at their international break, I think it was really a very good time for them to reflect.
mm,
It was
mm,
a good way. So they came back to camp with a lot of energy because the camp is just very high. The morale is so high.
Mm. Sam, what's your take?
and even that final itself, there was a lot of talk over here with that. Oh, this final with Arsenal and Man City, whoever wins it is going to have an impact on the title race
League,
itself,
yeah,
for
yeah,
respective teams.
yeah,
And it has shown. It has
yeah.
shown because,
Mm.
you know, one of the two sides, one side knows how to cope with pressure regardless of what situation they're in, whether they are 9 points behind or 5 points behind, whereas another team, they have been crawling, but they don't know how to finish the job off. They don't know how to finish the job. So in Man City's case, they've kind of looked at it like, you know, our door was very, very small, you know, very slim. There's no chance of it opening. Winning this final has suddenly put us in a great position that we even ourselves didn't know that we'd be in. Do you understand?
That's a very valid point. Lastly, before we go for commercial break, let's look at Chelsea. I think they needed that win against Sportsville because the pressure was much. Talking about the interviews, some of the senior players granted during international break, someone like Cucurella, someone like Malo Gusto, someone like the assistant captain himself, Enzo Fernandez, who has been banned for 2 games due to that very unprofessional and unsportsmanship interview that he granted. And I read his tweet earlier. He was apologizing to the Chelsea board, also apologizing to the players. I think that standards need to be set. It's not just about you being captain when the team is on a good run. You have to be captain when the team is even on a bad run. And we saw how that played out. We saw how that played out for Saka, who had issues with Arsenal fans during his time at the Emirates. And I'm sure that Samuel will remember that time when Saka was turned against, the fans, because Arsenal weren't doing well, and they expected that you are the captain, you should do more. It's the same thing that was expected of Enzo Fernandez. So I think the suspension was well worth it, and the performance, an all-round performance. Let's not even look at as if the team is an underdog. They got the job done, 7-0, and now they are into the semi-finals. They are going to play Leeds. What's your assessment of Liam Roseno, who might not be Chelsea's manager next summer?
I think, I think this job Liam Rosenior has took, I think it came a bit almost too big for him. Maybe it's too much for him.
Even the player said he has a good idea of football, but the timing that he came in is so bad that they can't implement his football.
Of course, yeah. And you need a manager that has a plan already and that can really take the players to really stick to the plan. Because if you come in, you have a plan and your players cannot stick to your plan, then it's not going to go well for you.
Yeah. It's
not going to go well.
Yeah. Jeremiah, Chelsea.
Okay, yeah, and I think Rezonia is trying to clean the house, and with the way by which he did not even include Enzo Fernandez, he's trying to let everybody. Because I think one thing he has to do is that he doesn't have a choice. He has to just start doing that right now. I think right now Chelsea will have to go and start rebuilding, because it looks as if players are not ready, probably to play for him. But let's. I think we are now to go for a commercial break.
Let's go for our commercial break. We are going to start with Chelsea, and from Chelsea we are going to move to the UCL actions that are going to take place starting on Tuesday. See you. Stick by. Don't go anywhere. We are just a few minutes. We are going to be back. All right. See you later.
Radio 91.7.
Nigeria, a nation of many languages and many tribes. We will stand together, live together, and grow together. United we stand, united we thrive. This message is brought to you by Women Radio WFM 91.7 FM.
HB 1349 ní nọ́mbà ìwé òfin ilé aṣòfin 1349. HB 1349 ó wà fún àwọn ipò tí a fi pamọ́ sílẹ̀ fún àwọn obìnrin ní ilé aṣòfin àgbà, ilé aṣòfin aṣojú àti àwọn ilé aṣòfin ìpínlẹ̀. Tí o bá fọwọ́ sí HB 1349, ìjọba wa yóò dára sí i. Ẹ jẹ́ kí a panupọ̀ kí a sọ fún àwọn ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ ilé aṣòfin wa kí wọ́n dìbò fún HB 1349 fún Nàìjíríà tó dára. Tí o bá nífẹ̀ẹ́ Nàìjíríà, ṣe àtìlẹ́yìn fún HB 1349 kí o fi ìfilọ̀ ìránṣẹ́ sí ẹlòmíràn. Ìkéde yìí wá láti Women Radio 91.7.
Otu ụmụ nwaanyị ga-agbasa ozi Women Radio Membership n'olu bekee na-ejikọ gị na ụmụ nwaanyị azụmahịa ndị ọzọ, ndị ọchụnta ego, ụmụ akwụkwọ, ndị nlekwa ezinụlọ, ndị ọrụ ugbo na ndị ezumike nka dị na steeti 36 nke Naịjirịa. Dịka onye otu ụmụ nwaanyị igwe mgbasa ozi, azụmahịa gị bụ nke a ga-akwalitere gị n'efu n'igwe mgbasa ozi ụmụ nwaanyị. Ị ga-enwetakwazi ihe nrite ihe ọma ndị dị ịtụnanya dị iche iche, ma nwetakwazi ohere ịnọ ma sonyere ihe omume anyị gasị. Tinye Women Radio app n'ekwentị gị taa iwe nụrụ olu gị n'igwe mgbasa ozi debanye aha n'efu na wfm917.com ma gbaa mbọ hụ na ị na-etonyere otu chịkọtara ụmụ nwaanyị igwe mgbasa ozi ọwara nzikọrịta ozi Facebook ọ bụ otu maka Alpha Foundation and Nigeria Media Innovation Program NAMIP na HITAP ha na-akwado otu abụ Women Radio Membership.
Oh, this is what I call full house.
Yes, sir. That's me. I feel
Huh? Talking about you. I'm talking about this Peak Yogurt Drink Full House Pack in your hand. The Peak Yogurt Drink 1 liter Full House Pack with more refreshment contains fresh cow milk. Share and enjoy full house goodness filled with essential vitamins and minerals. Peak. Reach for your peak.
Are you looking for a place to advertise your business at affordable rates or a hall to host all your corporate events and conferences? Then don't look any further for all your advert placements, live interviews, announcements, religious programs, event bookings, and lots more. Give your business the boost and reach your target audience at an affordable rate here on Women Radio 91.7. What are you waiting for? Hurry now. Call the numbers 0905 555 8998, 0806 009 2137, or 0816 060 5673, or email us at sales@wfm917.
Ayé ìgbádùn bó fẹ́ jẹ. Ó bẹ̀rẹ̀ pẹ̀lú bó ṣe ń ná owó rẹ̀. Ètò tuntun tó ń bọ̀ lórí Women Radio 91.7 yóò kọ́ ọ bí a ṣe ń náwó, bí a ṣe ń tọ́jú owó àti bí o ṣe lè ní owó tó pọ̀ jaburata. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni, Amọ́nì yóò kọ́ ọ ní ètò ìṣúná bí o ṣe lè lo owó rẹ̀ lọ́nà tó tọ́ àti lọ́nà tó yẹ. Lórí Amọ́nì, kò sáyè ìsápamọ́ lórí kó o yáwó, kò sáyè ọ̀nkú bí o tí ì jẹun bẹ̀ yẹn. A ó kọ́ ọ bí o ṣe ń náwó, bí o ṣe ń tọ́jú owó àti bí o ṣe lè dá wà láàyè ara rẹ̀. Pàdé wa lórí Women Radio 91.7 ní gbogbo ọjọ́ Tuesday láago 3:00 ọ̀sán. Women Radio 91.7 ohùn fún obìnrin. Amọ́nì, gbogbo obìnrin ní láti gbọ́.
Are you a business owner, freelancer, or salary earner in Lagos State? Taxes are not just bills to pay. Taxes are investments to develop your Lagos and your future. Women Radio, WFM 91.7, in partnership with Lagos Internal Revenue Service, LIRS, bring you Tax Radio every Wednesday at 5 p.m. and every Friday at 6:05 p.m. with tax experts on your tax rights and tax obligations in Lagos. Tax Radio with LIRS on Women Radio WFM 91.7, Wednesdays at 5 p.m. and Fridays at 6:05 p.m. Empower yourself with your tax rights and obligations in Lagos.
Radio 91.7, amplifying women's voices every hour, every day.
Don't forget that the phone line is open for you to join the conversation. It's 07000 917 917. Again, 07000 917 917. We ended at Chelsea, change of managerial, change of managers, and we're talking about Liam Reznor being laid off at the end of the season. And then Jeremiah spoke about the fact that Chelsea needs to rebuild. But I need to remind you, Jeremiah, that Chelsea are on sanction for I think 2 years. We don't know what that sanction means for them right now because we are still in the middle of the season. But their summer transfer business is very, very much in doubt. So that rebuild might not be very, very necessary. But then we are going to see so many outgoings because so many players are not playing. Someone like Tosin Adarabioyo, I expect him to push for a move with someone like Liam Delap. I expect him, but then off away from Chelsea, Manchester City, Liverpool, Arsenal, and Southampton. Let's move to the UCL. One of the biggest games of the UCL quarterfinal. We have 8 teams, 4 games, Tuesday and Wednesday. Real Madrid against Bayern Munich. One of the best footballs that we have seen this season. Bayern Munich are going firing at all cylinders, and we saw their victory against Freiburg during the weekend. What is your say between these two sides who have so much history? Let me remind you that in 9 meetings, Real Madrid have dominated all 9. They have won all 9. Bayern Munich are yet to win any. But then this game, with the Bayern Munich side coming into the game, much more improved, much more better in confidence, in psychology, we believe with Vincent Company. What do you think the results will be against Real Madrid at the Santiago Bernabeu on Tuesday? Jeremiah.
Okay, yeah, thank you very much, Dami. Bayern right now they are red hot. You know, the way they've been playing, it shows as the Champions League. It's been a while they won it, and they're trying to bring back that memory. You understand? For me, and if you look at it, for me, I'm even surprised with what Coupling has been doing. I never expected much from him.
Yeah.
These guys have been unbeaten for over 10 games now, and it's looking like it's going to be very, very tough. And playing against Real Madrid, it's going to be a very tough game. Honestly, it's going to be a very. I think the last time they met, if I'm not mistaken, was in 2021 or 2020, where both sides met. I think then Jose Mourinho was the coach of Real Madrid in that leg. But let me even see if I can get their stats now. The last time they met then and that. But in 2024 they both met and that. But I'm talking, if you look at their Champions League status, how they've played, it's been a very, very long time. And they've Madrid and Bayern, it has always been a tough tussle between both sides. It's either Madrid wins or Bayern wins, and that's coming from the 2018, 2017, thereabout that. But just like what you said, Vincent Company has a bigger fish to fry, and from that line of thought, it's something that Abelio will also be looking at too, because now Madrid has even lost a chance to win the La Liga at the moment. So the only thing left for them for another consecutive trophyless season as we speak, because it looks as if they're not going to
Okay, before we move to the other games, I want us to talk about one technical aspect of the game that has, been a point of discussion. The fact that Real Madrid plays better without Mbappe, and once he comes back from injury, Real Madrid are back to default. And let's talk about the fact that Mbappe and Vinicius, they still don't have that blend in. I'm not talking about off-field friendship. I'm talking of on-field friendship. We saw that performance between Bale, Benzema, and Cristiano Ronaldo. Real Madrid seems to lack that companionship of attackers. The attackers are off. Is it that Mbappe is drifting or getting so much involved in team's play that when the ball comes into the crosses, there is no man to tuck the ball into the net? Vinicius, Mbappe, it's not an ego battle. It's more like a technical thing. Coaches haven't really found a way. Meanwhile, at Bayern Munich, there's Olise, there's Hurricane, there's Karl Lennart, the guy that just broke out from the academy. There's Serge Gnabry. So much that they complement each other, which has made them a very great attacking force. It is not evidence for Real Madrid, which is why I'm still giving Bayern Munich the edge for that game. Even though Bayern Munich are still battling the fitness of Hurricane, but I still know that they are going to win that game because the way they are playing, the understanding, the chemistry, the tactical understanding of the players. Sam, what's your take on this? My opinion. Am I right? Let's start from there. Am I right?
Yes, I agree with what you're saying. It's not an ego issue between Vinicius. It's not an ego issue, no. It's both players understanding their prime position and their responsibility. Like if Mbappe is being asked to play as a central striker, the main point, and Vinicius is, to his left.
Left
I
wing.
think left wing. I think because Mbappe's because Mbappe has played on the left most of his career, he's more used to that position. I think there was even one time that he said somewhere, playing as a striker is not my main position. I prefer the left, So I think understanding both players, understanding their roles and responsibilities as to their position will help them thrive. But, if he's drifting to the left, that leaves no focal point for Real Madrid. You don't expect someone like Fede Valverde who's playing right back, center mid, right wing to drift as a striker. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's about those two understanding their position.
All right. The game between Arsenal and Sporting CP, Jeremiah.
Like I said, the situation of Arsenal right now is only God that we save them. The situation there.
Sorry, I'm just singing.
Samuel, you remember the prophecy. Samuel, you remember the prophecy I told you guys, the instruction I gave you guys. I said you guys should fast for 21 days for you to be able to end 21. You guys did not do this thing. So this time, it's better. It's better you start now. Arsenal fans, start this thing now. However, I can collect dollar and pounds to help you fast the fast. To help you pass the fast. To help you boycott and bypass the fast. But anyways,
with God
against
with God,
whatever is going to happen in the EPL by weekend, we will know from this Champions League game. If Arsenal will. I know I've seen story. I've seen that reports is saying that some of these players are back, but if Arsenal is going to still play very well, Saka for me has not been doing so well. I believe Noni Madueke should get a quality minutes right now. I think Noni Madueke should be pushing to the park.
But even Madueke is not an LD competition for Saka.
For me, Saka is not even a competition right now to even talk about. Yes, he's off. For me, playing Saka
I love Saka. I love Saka. I love him as a person on the pitch. But ever since he signed that 300k contract, I don't want to say it, but he signed the contract. But since then, he hasn't.
He has declined.
Yeah, he's declined.
He has become declined.
When was the last? Since he signed the contract, how many Premier League goals has he scored?
You guys have the same situation. I want to mirror this thing. Do you remember there was a time that Rashford broke through the scene at Manchester United? I think I have given this scenario on the show one time. When Rashford broke into the scene, he was doing so well. But the moment he signed that £350 contract, everything went bad. Everything went down the drain. And you could see the tantrums. You could see him not tracking back. You could see him, so much going to light clubs, being bad. I think you guys are in the same shoe with Saka. The only thing Saka is not doing is that he's not going to clubs. He's not going to night clubs. He's not being suspended. But he has been so inconsistent. The same thing that we accuse Rashford of as Manchester United.
I don't know about you, but I don't know how long Saka's contract was left before he signed it. Had he not signed the contract or any talk of contract at all, like he let his contract run until, I don't know, maybe next year, I really believe that his performances would have been picking up. He would have been scoring assists, scoring goals, and stuff like that.
Because
I have no doubts that would have been the case.
But then managerial, when we talk about structures, clubs want to make sure that their best players are tied down. So you can't actually blame the club. You can't. If he's actually close to a year or 2 years to the end of his previous contract, the club chiefs in charge of player transfers will not wait for one of their star players, the way they see him, to run his contract down the drain before they offer him something. And do not forget that your other competitors will be watching, they will be willing to offer him something big. So before any competitors will even decide to speak, I think the club did what was best. But
Yeah.
it is left to Saka. It is left to Saka to repay what they have, given unto him. Let's move away
And,
from
and, I,
Arsenal. Let's go to
and I
okay.
think
Jeremiah, you have something to say on
tactically,
that?
I just wanted to add that, and I think tactically, Saliba and Subimendi, I think Saliba should move up front, should play more from the midfield, while Subimendi should do more of a positional play. And I think that may help them against Sporting.
When we look at Zubimendi has always been like a kind of positional player who loves to receive the ball, who loves to drive forward. That was why Real Madrid was looking at him to replace Toni Kroos or Luka Modric because he's a player of that model. But let me tell you something. Sam, I actually understand your points, and Jeremiah, I get where you're
There
coming
should be
from.
a lot of overloading.
If you look at the way Arsenal have been playing, even the best players in the world will not thrive in that system. Everybody, yes, every player now is looking forward to a corner kick at Arsenal. Once they win a corner kick, they celebrate as if they won the World Cup.
Yeah. I understand.
Players no longer express themselves. There was even a time that if it wasn't playing because Ateta felt like he was not that guy. I'm like, this guy is not this guy. But you bought him for this whooping sum of dollars, for this whooping sum of pounds. So I just want Arsenal to just do whatever it is they can do this season. The dirty part of the game, they don't know how to play it before. That was how they missed out on the league last season by 2 points. Was it 2 points? They can't do that dirty job. But they have been doing that dirty job this season. And that dirty job is affecting the input of some of the key players.
It is.
So
it is.
We can consider that, and we can still not consider that. But then we have to be very fair in our opinion sometimes. That is why I brought it up. For me, I feel like Saka will still flourish if he plays in that more attacking position, the way he broke onto the scene. And with more players that, are you saying Martinelli or this guy Madueke or Abbott? These guys are just there to fill the void. I'm telling you, a team that knows business will not keep these guys as first teamers. So
no, you mean for Madueke? I don't think so. I think Madueke has really helped. Has really been so important. Then he has really helped the likes of Declan Rice and Gabriel.
Considering how he came to the club in the summer, yes.
He has really helped that team. Because if you look at it, his availability is so important in that team. Because if you look at Madueke, if you look at it against Bayer Leverkusen, you will see the importance of Madueke. Madueke came into the picture, the defense that was really tough, he was able to unlock it, and I think that's one thing that the reason they bought Madueke was because of the fact that he could play both flanks. So which means he could relieve either Saka or he could relieve
Martinelli.
This guy. Martinelli or any of those players, and I think which is fine, but because basically Arsenal is a team that if they don't play from the back and if their midfield is not connecting properly, they have a problem, and that's where they have any issues. I think at the end of the season they still need to review and get someone like Granit Xhaka or get somebody, but I think it's just the injury issue because if Merino is back now, I think the team will get themselves.
Okay, the game between PSG and Liverpool.
Bye Liverpool. I feel that's it. Au revoir.
I don't want to say that. I don't want to say that.
I want Sam to take PSG Liverpool. Jeremiah, I want you to take Barca and Atletico Madrid. Sam, let's hear from you.
PSG Liverpool is like I don't know how to describe it. It's like what PSG did to Chelsea, PSG can do to Liverpool at least twice or 5 times as much if they wanted to, because Liverpool's season so far, they've not been great at all. I think domestically they've not been great. Liverpool finished in the top 8 you know. But even to come up against a team like PSG, whose attacking minded side is thriving, you know, they're doing so well. Kvaratskhelia, Dembele, Desiree Doué, all of those guys. But I think there will be too much for Liverpool to handle.
So there's the potential that Liverpool are already out even without kicking a ball.
Yes. Honestly, yes. I can see that. No, I can see that. But it will take a lot. It will take a lot for me to watch that game, and PSG will have to probably the whole team will have to be injured for Liverpool to have a chance, because I can't see Liverpool. They can score, but I can't see them winning. I can't see them winning the game, let alone the tie. So yeah.
They are one team that has met, so much this season. I think this season, Atletico Madrid and Barca have met 2 times in the Copa del Rey, 2 times in the league. That's 4 times, and they're going to meet again 2 times, 6 times this season.
They
Barca and
must be
Atletico.
getting bored of each other.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. You know, and if you look at it, don't forget that was the game that Ademola Lookman, Nigerian player, shined. You know, defeating Barcelona in that context. But this is Champions League. Rafinha is injured already. This is going to be a very big one for them at the moment. But let's see as it goes, because most times when it comes to the Spanish derby, when I mean in the Champions League now, Atletico sometimes they can be so good, so great. They'll just go. They'll have an high flying moment, and all of a sudden again they'll just drop low. You know, they'll be so. Sometimes it's but one thing I can say is that Barcelona does not have a very strong defense at the moment. Atletico Madrid, they are not really so great, but I think Atletico Madrid has a better chance to upturn the situation. For me, that's what I think.
Do you think they can win one of the games?
Yes. And I think I think presently, Atletico knows their way. I think presently, I think they have a very good chance to beat Barcelona. Yes.
And I feel like this is the last dance for Antoine Griezmann, because he's going to leave for MLS. He already signed with Orlando City, and some of the veterans in that team, someone like Oblak, someone like there's also this guy Jimenez that plays in the defense. They know that this is their chance. They have been at the final twice and they have lost the final. So this is another time to go all the way. But then they have to overcome Barca. They already did that in the Copa del Rey, and they are into the finals of the Copa del Rey. And I'm sure that they will be looking to do something more astonishing by pushing further, even if not to the finals, but into the semi-finals of the UEFA Champions League. Both of them are familiar foes. They know each other very, very well, like, the palm of their hands, because both of them plays in the league. It is safe to say that Barca are going to win the La Liga. They are 7 points clear at the top of the log, which means that there is nothing for Real Madrid this season, as it seems, but they are still in the UEFA Champions League. We don't know if a miracle is going to take place, like Jeremiah said earlier. And for them to actually want to not go trophyless, it means that they have to start something very, very meaningful against Bayern Munich. Let's leave that and let me just run through the fixtures of the NWSL 2025-2026 season. We are into week 14 of the game. We have 4 more games left to the end of the season, which is going to end by May, on the 6th of May, the first week of May, the league ends. So let's look at the games for week 14. We are going to have 10 teams in action. Yes, I'm right. We are going to have we are going to have 6 games across different centers at Larike Stadium, that is at Osun, Onikon Stadium in Lagos, Lafia City Stadium, Umaya Stadium, that is in Abia, and we are going to have at Akure Stadium, that is in Ondo. Also, babes who are already destined for relegation, just like Mubaranti Wanderers, are going to be hosting Conference Queens who are battling relegation at the Larike Stadium. Ghana's ladies against Delta Queens FC. Delta Queens will be coming to Lagos to play the Lagos team. Nassau Amazons against Remo Stars ladies. This game I'm very particular about this game because both sides are pushing for a place for the Super Six, and Nasser Amazons has just, I think, 2 points above Remo Stars ladies. So Nasser Amazons' attempt against Remo Stars ladies is actually one to watch out for. Audinayam Queens, who have Abda Unaweri at the end of affairs, are actually doing well. And the newly promoted side might actually escape relegation. We don't know. They are going to play against Robo Queens at the Umaya Stadium in Aba. Robo Queens are going to Umaya. And then lastly, for week 14, we have Sunshine Queens against Abia Angels. Another game that Abia Angels are pushing for a place in the Super Six, because that we confirmed that this season 14 to go on relegation. So all classes are expected to kick off by 4 p.m. today, and that's that. And then we'll continue for week 15, 16, 17, and 18 before the league finally closes out. And to bring to our notice, we have a new manager for U17. That's the Falconet, Akim Busari, has been appointed as the new head coach of the U17, following the dismissal of even though there was not anything official about his exit. We know that he's no longer the head coach, and he was once the head coach of Ocean Babes, but he has since left the end of the FA Cup. So that on this
Okay,
section.
yeah, Dami, I also think we need to also tell our fans that the football fans corner is
yes,
live.
yes,
And
we
the
are live
link to
now.
register. So I think probably maybe we'll just have to, maybe I'll share the link with the administrator so they will be able to put it there for people to join in. Yeah, let me just put it there. So the link
all right.
the link to
And
join
it's
in.
going to be, the link is going to be on our socials too, on all WFM socials, on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter. You can get it there, register, and then we will get you sorted after your registration.
That's just it. So you'll have a chance. Some of the thoughts you have to share about Arsenal, about your club, about Man City, about Barcelona, the good, bitter, sweet moment for you. You have the time.
We are here for it.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Yeah. You have anything you want to share with us, Samuel, before we
yes, Samuel, because we are done with this session.
No, I haven't got anything to say. Just you know, for the season to just
Okay.
Arsenal.
Okay.
Arsenal, come on, you Gunners.
You Gunners. Okay, that will be the size. God bless Nigeria for me. God bless everybody. God bless WFM. God bless you guys. Yeah. See you again.
God bless you guys, everyone.
Yeah.